2016 marks the 60th anniversary of the premiere of The Ballad of Baby Doe. 2016 also marks another important anniversary for the association. Let me read you part of a letter I wrote on February 20, 1996. This was a letter to Dan Ritchie, who was then chairman of the board of this organization. Dear Dan, last Saturday morning, I met with Pelham Pearce at my home in Fall River.
Well, I met Pat in 1995 when I was chair of the search committee. We were looking for a new general director.
This man from Alabama managed to get here in the middle of a raging snowstorm.
And I remember when Nancy Parker came to me 20 years ago and had found out about you and had convinced you to come to town to interview for the job as with Central City Opera.
Anyway, his arrival here in that terrible weather immediately scored a lot of points with me. I found him to be an interesting person, intense, enthusiastic, and energetic. I believe that he would be an excellent choice for our new managing director.
And I have to say, of all the candidates, Pat was the one that was inspired by the little historic village, by the beautiful opera house, by having the people live in the little homes around it. And it was winter. And he was very patient, being from Alabama.
I am urging you and the search committee to finalize arrangements with Mr. Pearce as quickly as possible so that we may take advantage of his services and of his talent.
When we did the search, what we were looking for is Pat.
He's an absolute genius at both programming and casting, and as a result of that, we've had some incredibly electrifying, I think, performances and productions at Central City Opera.
I think the thing that I find most memorable about my interaction with Pat is when I go to Central City Opera, the way in which he, during the season, is almost the mayor of Central City, walking around the town with him, not just being in the opera, not just his role with the company itself.
Pat came on board during my time, and he has not disappointed us in any way. I can't imagine anybody doing a better job than he has.
First of all, Pat with his saucy hat, his bow tie, and his pinstripe seersucker suits. I mean, it's ice cream. It's summer. It's wonderful.
You've also brought us some great innovations like the American series that really
was heralded by so many people around the country and around the world. And that kind of innovation is what has kept us alive and vibrant.
The most beautiful thing is the magic that you experience when you go to Central City Opera. And that comes directly from Pat, I feel like. When talking to him about his art form, you see the passion come out in him. You see he gets wrapped up in it, and that thrill and love of what you do is so necessary, and that's what I feel like comes forward in the entire experience when you're at Central City Opera.
He loves Midsummer Night's Dream. And also Gloriana. His story is he was dusting the house one day and happened to put this CD in, that was a while ago, and started listening to Gloriana and just decided that would be wonderful, and he came back and started talking about it and got everybody in the office on the ball after this. It was a very wonderful, wonderful production.
I think that what he's done is sort of put Central, along with John Moriarty. John had a lot to do with it too. Pat built upon his foundation and has turned this into a national destination, and should be, for seeing opera at its best.
He also brings to his work a love and an understanding of singers. That's very important. Singers are a special breed. They're hooked up differently from the rest of us. Pat understands them, and he recognizes talent when he sees it.
Central City is unique, first of all, because we do have an artistic director who believes in quality and has the great talent that Pat has. As I said, he creates magic.
From my perspective, having gotten to know Pat and having gotten to know the work of Central City Opera and the history of it, I think the impact has been really extraordinary.
And the world will be better for this, that one man scorned and covered with scars still strong with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable star.
What he can do is explain who and what we're trying to do better than anybody, because he's passionate about the art form.
The qualities which I noted in 1996 have proven to be a boon to the association. Add to those qualities a broad knowledge of opera. Pat lives and breathes opera and vocal music.
The casting may be the most important or the most brilliant thing that he does, but it's also choosing productions that will showcase the talent and give us something wonderful to see. Tosca this past summer is a perfect example. Two out of those three cast members had never performed Tosca, but he saw their potential, and he certainly lived up to it.
I think for one, Pat is just an endless advocate for the arts. He's always involved in every conversation around how to further the cultural growth of our community. That respect, I think, is shown in so many ways, not only across our community but nationally. And Central City really has become one of those arts organizations that a kind of a crown jewel in Denver's cultural community.
I love you, Pat. Thank you a lot.
And congratulations on 20 extraordinary years leading Central City Opera.
I'm Nancy Britton. I was your Director of Development for about 8-9 years. Your first time here, and now I'm on the board, so I've been around a long time to give you a lot of trouble. And I just want to say congratulations and a well-deserved tribute to you for all you've done for Central City.
Pat, on behalf of everyone at Wonderbound, we want to congratulate you on 20 years at Central City Opera.
Pat, I'm sorry I can't be here on this auspicious occasion of your 20th year at Central City. And since I've been with you all 20 of these years, we've had, I think, a great run. And it's because of your great artistic skills and your ability to find great talent and to bring innovation to opera. Here we are today, as strong as we've ever been, and I'm looking forward to the next 20 years. Have a great celebration, Pat.
20 years ago, Pat joined the company as managing director. A few years later, when I decided I had done my job and was ready to step aside, Pat was the obvious person to assume leadership. He has fulfilled all expectations brilliantly